Good day. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jay, and this is Homeschool Your Kids podcast. Today we have with us Karina. Karina, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Karina Streeter. I am a educator by trade. I'm a mother of three children, and more than that when you talk about extended from family and students. And so I am the founder of STEAMA Academy and I International. So two different entities. STEAMA is more the curriculum, right? So we have what we want, which is global standards for our students. So not just academics, but how to support them mentally, how to make sure they're aligned to their future career. And I is really kind of that outreach for our students so that they can actually go into those career fields, get community service for that, and, just align them to careers they love and use to serve their community.
Nice. Okay. And I love how you said mother of three, but many more if you count them students, because that's how I said those are my babies. Those are my babies.
I know, right? And, it's also, too, it's like I have taken in kids. I'm actually on the journey to become a foster mother. Because that was one of my things is like, once you really connect with your students, Jay, what I'm talking about, it's like you start seeing where they're, missing, or some of them are displaced. They may be homeless. Yes. And it's like, there's no way I'm going to just let them. I've had students that slept on streets, and it's like, no, you can come here and we're going to take care of you.
Oh, I love that. Yes. We don't be knowing what these little people be having going on unless we talk to them. They really do be having. I know I've had a lot of displaced students before. Some that's were living in a hotel, things of that nature, but they never spoke about it. Yeah. And then, when you talk to their parents, it's like, oh, okay, this is going on. This is going on. And it's like, oh my gosh. Yes. So yeah. I love that for you. I love that. All right. So take us on the journey. How do we get to STEAMA and I?
So it's
I and I.
Yeah.
Homeschool families. Homeschool Your Kids Expo and Homeschool Beats Academy are teaming up to bring you a day of real support and real inspiration. Come explore curriculum and enrichment, meet trusted vendors, and connect with the homeschool community. And at our featured Expo stop, meet Homeschool Beats Academy and see how students ages 7 to 18 can create original music through beat making and production with parent-friendly guidance. Get dates and details at homeschoolyokidsexpo.com.
So it's like innovation and integration, but it also means connecting one to the other. So it's really deep in a sense where we want to make sure that our kids kind of have a global perspective that we walk in love. We're all people, regardless of what you believe, you have to have respect for the other person, right? The golden rules, treat others as you want to be treated. And I think we're veered away from that. And so that's sort of where that focus is. How can we get back to creating love in our communities? How can we get back to, supporting each other? Because you always get further together.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So how do you get connected to us? So right now we're based here in Tampa, Florida, although we've done outreach and programs in New Orleans, Houston, Texas, and, I've been able to travel because of this, but it's support, STEAMA.world is the website. And then the next one is IINT, so IIINT.org. So between those two, you're going to find me. And STEAMA is more the curriculum. And I is basically the home, the base, right? So the actual opportunity for kids to come to our programs and be able to participate in STEAMA. And this year, we're sort of venturing at that's how me and you met, Jay. I'm going into the homeschool. My kids have always done hybrid, to full-time homeschool, but we're stepping out in faith and we're going to completely go homeschool.
Homeschool families, are you ready to refresh your plans for the year? Join us at the Homeschool Your Kids Expo. Meet curriculum and enrichment vendors, discover new programs, and connect with a community that gets it, all in one place. Come with questions, leave with real options. Get event details and register now at homeschoolyokidsexpo.com. That's homeschoolyokidsexpo.com.
And then also being able to offer this to our students because so many kids are being held back because it doesn't work for their schedule. Like we were saying, you don't know their home lives. You don't know what they're going through, their responsibilities. But at the end of the day, we have to support them academically, education, like we're going, you know what I mean? So that's where we are. But we are able to travel. That's one of the things that are beautiful about STEAMA is that when you make things online, your kids can reach you anywhere. And that's what I want. I want to be able to help parents as well as my own kids on not missing anything, regardless of where you are. You know, you may be able to come to one of our programs and be in front of us, and other times you'll be on the road like you, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So how did this brainchild come about? Like, how did we develop? How do take us through that journey? How did we get here?
So I was like you, Jay, started in teaching, loved it, right? Then I, like every teacher thinks, okay, well, I got to become an administrator, right? I want to become an assistant principal. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And I hate to say that, but it wasn't what I signed up for. So it was like breaking.
Your kid has music in them. They just need the right tools to let it out. Homeschool Beats Academy teaches kids ages 7 to 18 how to make real beats at home on their schedule, in their own style. No experience needed. Grab the complete First Beat Kit free at homebeatsacademy.com. That's homeschoolbeatsacademy.com.
Up fights, stopping, dealing with issues all the time, issues. And of course,
what was the grade level? Like middle school?
High school.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was never able to get to the root of the problem, right? So it's like I'm putting a Band-Aid like, hey, you've got to go because these are school rules. Like, my thing is I don't want your kid to go home. Like, I want them to stay right here and let's try to fix the issue, right? But those are the rules. And I went up to the district level and was able to lead that. And unfortunately, there were some things that I didn't from the state level agree with, and everything is testing. And I wanted to create something that it truly mattered, right? That I was proud of. And I stepped out. I started STEAMA. Actually, before that, I started I&I. I&I was like an outreach.
Okay.
How can I get the high school students to believe in themselves again? So we started actually going to elementary, middle schools and having them read to kids and tutor them. And that gave me so much happiness because they're like, wow, I've accomplished so much. And then the kids are like thinking they're like superheroes, And so they were just changing so much how they were viewing themselves based off of having the opportunity to give back to their community and to the younger youth, And then STEAMA was like, okay, well, how do I make this look? How do I actually lead people to what I want? And that was the vision of connecting our students to careers they love and use to serve their community. And my thing is, I want my kids or, our students to love what they do, love their life, be proud of it. And there were so many times where my kids, because I was in it for 20 years, so they're coming back with their kids.
Oh, wow.
They're like, Miss, you helped me graduate, high school. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then you see their whole face change. And that's like, and I don't want that. I want the ones that come back to me and they're happy, like, oh, Miss, and they're excited about school. And that was the other thing. Kids were like, I don't want to do another worksheet, Miss. And I'm like, I know, but I have to. And I just didn't want that have to anymore. I want our kids really learning what they need in order to be successful, period. And if it's not aligned to that, then it's not a part of us.
Yes. Oh, girl, you have said a mouthful. I love that you had the kids going to the elementary and mentoring and reading to them and everything. Because like you said, oh my goodness. Okay. So high school, my last year of teaching, I don't know if I shared it with you, but that was like one of my most like down. I don't like to use depressed, but like it fits. Yeah. Look, it fits. But I was so like, the students were down, I was down, and it was just like, that energy was heavy. Yeah. And I felt like that's what it was. They didn't know their purpose. They didn't understand that they had value. And it was like, they're so used to just going through the process of, okay, day to day, okay, like you said, another worksheet, another this, another that. But it's like, okay, what is all of this? I was just talking to my nephew's girlfriend this morning and telling her, like, I feel like high school is really a waste of time. I feel like we could cover what we need to cover K through 8th. And then high school should be spent with hands-on learning, spent with apprenticeships, spent with internships, just things that are actually letting them try out different careers, letting them try out different jobs.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why, girl, everything you're saying, I love it. I love it.
So, and Jay, we're so aligned, exactly what you said. So, and that tells you this is needed because you're literally speaking the same thing. And for us, first, we start off with assessments, not like tests. Like, I don't really care about where you test academically. Like, I can figure that out later. I want to know how your brain works, right? There's enough like test out there to kind of say, well, baby, your brain works like this, and this is how you need to study. And based off of how your brain works, these are actually good careers that you could go into. And like 95% of the time, the kids are like, Miss, this is me. I would even say higher, right? And it's like, this
like reading their horoscope. You really
exactly.
Like, what's your sign?
Exactly. And it's like, this stuff came out in the 80s. Why aren't we using this? And then for me, why I was always like highly effective. And when I instruct people, because I was also an instructional coach, it's like, you can't give kid an information if they don't receive it that way. So you got to first figure out how they take it in. And then once you figure that out, then you know how to teach them. But you got to first learn the kid. And that's how we start off. Like, I don't want any more kids falling through the cracks. Like, I want them to know themselves. And then for me, it's like, just like you said, we're spending like 90 minutes on the academics, right? And you can do that online. You can do that from anywhere. Like, just make sure it's done by a certain time, like, and we're good. And even if it's not, we can still work with it. But most of the time is just like you said, hands-on learning. Like, I need you out in the community. I need you to check to see if this is like, these are the careers you thought you were interested in. I want you to go, and we've partnered with businesses in Tampa and said, like, so they get to intern there, get their community service hours. And they're like, Miss, I like it, or Miss, I don't. And that's perfect.
Yes.
Because before they leave us, they already know. And then now once they are kind of like, this is it, Miss, I love it. Because they got to learn to love it for free. Because the one thing you don't want to do is just love something for money, because that doesn't make you happy. And even though it may pay your bills, like, you're still not happy because you're trying to, like, I know I'm talking a lot, but I've met
you're good.
that have said to me, oh yeah, I'm in this, but I don't really like it. And it's like, you're supposed to love this, but they're not. Their parents wanted them to do that, or it was like, oh, this fits the bill. And it's like,
or they've acquired that student debt, and it's like, okay, this is the only thing that's going to help you pay this. Yeah,
100%. And they're not happy. And that's what I don't want. And so for me, allowing this in that high school setting for you to go out there and see if you love it for free and you're excited and you're getting up and I can see the joy, then I'm going to keep pushing you into that. But it's when they don't and they're like, oh, I want to do this because it makes this amount of money. No, that it can't be. Like, everybody has a purpose. And STEAMA is about trying to help them find that.
I love that. Because, and I feel like you hit it head on early on. Like, you want them to love, and I like that you're saying love to do it for free first. But you want them to love what they're doing. Like, we have so many people, and I've talked about this so many times, like, we're so quick to ask somebody, like, how they're doing in school, or how they're, like, what job they're working, or just things about themselves. But we never really ask them, well, are you happy?
Yeah.
And it's like, if we were to start there, how would the conversations be? Because like you said, when you would see your students and they're excited about you helping them get through and graduate, and then you ask them, okay, well, what you doing now? And they're like, well,
exactly.
I'm surviving.
And then just like you were saying too, it's like they like don't even want to come to school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's start. They don't want to come to school, and you see them skipping. It's like, now they're not skipping. They're like, Miss. And then there's enough things that I'm learning, on this journey, is like, you can actually get paid in high school, right? So, there's apprenticeship classes paying kids, once you finish, a $500 stipend, or,
nice.
They have some career source here in Florida that allows kids to make $15 an hour for a semester. And then from there, we have community partners that are like, hey, we're willing to sponsor them, because the whole thing is like, we want to be that bridge between education and the real world, right? In careers. And it's like, that's what high school should have been. And we've lost that. I mean, my parents learned to do budgeting and home economics and financial literacy. And it's like, we got to bring all of that back
All that back.
because investing, like I didn't learn investing when I was in school. I don't know about you. We learned economics and it was not even talking about how to apply it in real life. And it's like we have to change. We have to prepare our kids. We have to give them an upper hand.
Yes. I feel like, I know in the 8th grade or 7th, I think 7th grade, I took teen living, or it may have been even 6th, because I feel like 7th and 8th, I took a language. And that's the thing, like, they get our kids so college driven that we're not really experiencing high school or middle school in the way that we were prior to it being college focused. Because now it's like, okay, you got to take 3 years of language or of a foreign language. So that takes away your elective. So you're not able to elect those like financial classes or the economics or the carpentry or whatever. You can't do that anymore because the trade stuff, because you have to you're being taught to be prepared to enter into college, even though most of the students that I come across don't even need to be going that road. Like, they need to be finding, like, because they're thinking and their level of like how they learn and everything is not college set. Like, college, I tell everyone, it is literally reading and writing. Like, that is all college is. So if you did not like reading and writing in grade school, you are going to struggle through college because that's all it is. And it's independent. And it's weird that it's so independent, but we're so like, we have conditioned our students to be so dependent on us for everything, as far as thoughts, how to do things, having to provide them with examples. I stopped modeling for my students after a while because every paragraph I wrote, I would have to read about 25 times because they don't rewrote my paragraph and just changed a couple of words. Like, I'm not modeling anything for y'all no more. Like, do it and let's talk about it afterwards. Because they're just so used to being dependent, and it's not a good look. Well, it's not a good look for that generation. Like, for the kids, it's not teaching them how to be thinkers, really, Yeah,
no, 100%. And for me too, is like, I spend most of my time working in Title I schools. And, they're like, oh, this kid is bad. And I'm like, they're brilliant, actually. They're smarter than me in real life. They know how to make money, and it's like, well, then let me teach them about drop shipping, because they would learn it. And now it's like in a better situation for them. Let me teach them about investing because they understand it better than me, right? I've had kids that I had one kid struggled with reading. Reading comprehension was just not his jam. But he could literally hear an engine from a motorcycle or a car and be able to tell you exactly what was wrong with it, right? Now, he did not finish high school. But I see a lot of them. And so I'm like, out there, he has his own bike shop. He has a 4-bedroom house. He has 2 beautiful kids, and he's doing it. And he's figured out how to do it. And it's like, why did we prevent a kid like that from getting their high school diploma just because they couldn't pass one test? That's where I'm just like, nah.
This isn't set up for our success. Yeah. I like that you said that, because the first thing I thought about was my nephew. Like, my nephew, he struggled with reading comprehension, but he started his own clothing brand. He started, like, he was doing the drop shipping, ordering from overseas and everything else. Like, he was literally my motivation to go as hard with Homeschool Your Kids as I did initially, because I was watching him. Like, he was setting that tone, and it's like, do it. Yeah. Look, I got on this clothing. I got on some pants right now. Make official. But
okay, I'm gonna say, okay. You better put that. What's the website, right?
Make official. I know. I will. But we are so, our little people, our little humans, our young adults, our whatever you want to label them as, they're capable of so many great things. And because they're not able to test in a certain manner, because they're not able to comprehend how we will want them to, or learn the same way as every other person in the classroom, then we label them, we discard them, we push them through without actually pulling out all that potential that they do have. And then by the time they get to 10th and 12th grade, where I was able to see a lot of them, they're just there. And it's so sad that they're just there. It's like, oh my gosh, how do we get here? How do we get here? How do we work? How do we fix this? How do we fix this?
Because even for me, I got to work with pre-K and they were like, oh, they're struggling with math, counting 1 to 20. And they're struggling with, their words. Let me tell you what they're not struggling with. I bought some fake money when we did this farming. And they $1, $2, they're up there showing, I got 20. Now wait, now all of a sudden they know how to count, right? But it's like they haven't made the connection. And that's the part that I really want to do with our academics is like make it real world. Yes. And so watching, little 3-4-year-olds like with the fake money and I'm going to buy this. And it's like, yes, because they want to feel like little adults, Yes. And it's just like, that's the journey that I want for our kids. So can you imagine by elementary, even right now I'm at an innovation academy, just learning. It's one of the best schools here in Tampa. And I'm learning, I've been gracious enough to work with the college here that has let me in to kind of just see, and they have what's called entrepreneurship. The kids came up with an idea. They went through a whole business plan. I mean, I'm talking elementary, 3rd through 5th grade, right?
Yes.
And each class made $300, $400, $500 and just open it up to parents in the community. It's like this, and the kids, I mean, they counted the money. They came up with the business plan. They came up with the marketing. And it's like, this is what they want to do. And it's like, we should not just sit here with a worksheet and be like, oh, this is it.
Wow. Yeah. Because that business plan covers so many things. It covers, because you got to do history. You have to be able to research things. You have to price and budget. You have to, it's so many things.
Item analysis. Cost analysis.
Yes. You gonna see my little people at the expo, girl. They gonna be over there selling. My 9-year-old is a little hustler, honey.
But I bet you she was it. Yeah.
She does, especially when it comes to making money. Like that's her jazz. That is her jazz.
And I was gonna say my youngest son, he's was always kind of like school wasn't, he was actually my first child to actually take off after COVID and do like a hybrid or even homeschool for, a year. And once I decided to, because he was like, oh, school is dumb. School is, I don't, and they tell me all the time, they're like, he acts like a grown man. He acts like a grandpa in that thing.
Aww.
But like once I had the opportunity to make a candy shop and to do like him and his friends have a, I forget what it's called, but when you're cleaning like garbages or the houses and the paveway, what is that?
Oh, pressure washing.
Pressure washing, girl.
What? Nice.
So he's already got his summer lined up. He's got his dates. Now he's good at school because now his focus is not school. It's about when he comes home, how to make this money. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like just to see my own child, turn it around because I gave him an opportunity. I'm like, I cannot wait to do this for so many other kids. I mean, I've already seen it, but to fully jump in next year and be that homeschool co-ops, it's gonna, I'm excited. I mean, I already have like students already registered. So it's just, I'm excited. And like you, Jay, I was talking to you before we started recording. I can't wait to just travel and be like, okay, we're going here and we're going to learn here. And, that's it. And no one can tell us no.
Right. And just so different. Like just seeing the different cultures, the different realities of, different states opposed to watching it on television. Cause that's where a lot of people get their notions of how a state is or how people are in a certain area. It's like, no, you got to go out there. I tell people all the time, we be in these streets, y'all. Y'all can't tell me nothing about nothing because we be out here, okay? Like, understand that. Yeah. And it's cool out here. Like, girl, talking to my sister, the one that had came in here, She's so funny. I be telling her, stop watching TV. Like is that person okay? Or is that safe? Or is that, I said, love, we don't mean anyone harm and no one means us harm. Like, I'm not carrying that energy. I'm not living in that space. Like, people are out here to look out for each other because more people than we know or can, I don't know, more people understand that we are stronger together. More people know that we need each other. Like, that's becoming a known thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not we have so many people that help us along this journey. It is not just us. Like, by all means, we have so many people that reach out, that we come across, that just give, especially to my girls. Like, oh my gosh, they are taken care of. They are loved. I can say that, like, around the country, they are loved. And I appreciate that. But it's like people in their fear of what the unknown, basically, because they're not out there, because they're not traveling, because they're not, they're just watching things on TV. They're like, oh no, it's not safe out there. And come outside, y'all. Just come outside.
And I love that you're saying that, because you remember TV is designed to captivate the audience. And so their
programming
objective exactly is, how can I captivate the audience? And my thing is, unfortunately, that changes a lot of people's perspective. But you have to remember, they are also in ratings. So it's like, let's step back and really think about it. And if you really, like, I'm Jamaican, right? So everybody's like, oh, Jamaica's on the you watch list, or you can't go, it's not safe, and it's like, it's fine. You yes, I know there's a crime here, but we're fine. So do you want to come and hang out? And the people, like, I've had friends come with me. They've had, just people on the road cook for us, talk to us, show us around. And it's like, I'm not going to live my life, like you said, in fear. And that's the thing.
Of your neighbor.
Exactly.
People are scared of their neighbors.
That's what we talked about, right? Treat each other as you want to be treated, and you're going to find your village. And it's going back to that African proverbs, right? It takes a village to raise a child. It's like, that's what we need to kind of go back to. And it, even Jay, meeting you, it's like, being in this space has let me see that there's more moms, there's more families, not even just moms, just families in general that are like, let me help you. Oh, I've got this. Let me help you here. And it's like, that's what I want for my kids. Like, I want, supported by a community or a village. And
community, honey. Yeah. Community is where it's at. We are stronger together. Like, we are stronger and we're not meant to do this journey alone in general. Homeschooling or just living in general. Yeah. We're not meant to do this by ourselves. Yes. And it's way more fun with people.
I know. And you know what? The one thing that I forgot to mention, but I was thinking about it, is, everybody's sit and get, and it's like, going back and finding out, my son needs to be outdoors. Like, he needs to be out in nature. If you go out there and you make it play, or, he's outside, he's going to learn better. So, or, I have another student that's like, they need to be bouncing a ball, right? But that allows them to focus. And it's like, we've got to do things different. Like, you can't just sit here and just not talk and tell me what to do. Like you said, that's where the critical thinking gets lost. And it's like, man, like you said, we've got to break the cycle.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I like that you honed in on learning the kid, like learning how they learn. Like, everyone does not learn from lectures. Everyone does not learn from PowerPoints. Everyone doesn't learn from, it's like you have to figure out, like you said, with the bouncing the ball, like, some kids need that rhythm. Some kids got to tap a leg or stand up. I know I got to stand up, or my 12-year-old, honey, when we're playing board games, honey, she can't even sit down the whole time we playing a board game. She eventually starts standing up, and she may walk around a little bit. Kennedy, it's your go. It's your go. Bring her back. But it's like, let her be. Like, let them be.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Because it's like, school creates little factory, generated people. It's like, everybody walk this way. Everybody move this way. Everybody eat at this time. No, that's not us.
No,
yes. It's not us.
And, it's like, kids that are struggling in school, this is not for them. And we have to do something. Like you said, Like, I'm just so proud of you. I remember I was telling you, I was like, I love what you've done. Like, I love that you can just get with your girls and travel the United States. You said you saw like over 30 states. And it's like, how many people can
Yeah,
do that? How many people? It's
I
because
know.
they're restricted, and just imagine how much exposure you've given to your girls and more culture and perspective that a lot of us don't get because they're just focused on the TV, like you said, and then also just what they've been taught. And that's it.
Girl, my girl's asking to go back to Iowa, honey. Like, first of all, who would have thought that we had a reason to be in Iowa? Then
Yeah.
for them to be asking to go back, it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's the experience outweighs everything. The experiences that we're getting to have, as adventurous as they may be at times because of this lovely RV we in, it's all a part of the process, and we appreciate it. Like, it's fun, and it's always
Yeah.
like, okay, well, what's next? Like, what's next? I
Yeah.
tell people I am definitely the epitome of, you just be doing shit. I do. I do. I definitely do. Because, like, what are we here for?
Yeah.
Besides, like, to live out our purpose, to walk in our purpose, and to
I
understand
love that.
that
Yeah.
we are for each other. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I tell people, like, I come across some awesome people. Like, I've met some dope people along this route. And I'm grateful. I'm
Yeah.
grateful. I'm one. I will meet somebody today and park in their driveway tomorrow. Okay,
Yeah.
like like okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like the universe got us. Like, I feel like we are protected. I feel like our ancestors got us. Our creator got us. And that's what energy I move in. It's like either you're gonna have faith or you're gonna have fear. That's what people like. You can't have both. Like, they don't go together. It's like, so you
And
gotta
yeah.
pick one.
And
And
and I love that you said that because my thing too is one of the things that I disagreed with is, we stopped learning our history. I was a part of that, where they took all of that literature, all of that history out of the books, like, and it was some of Toni Morrison, Langston Hughes, why am I forgetting? The lax were the one who learned about like the chromosomes and how it was actually to help heal cancer, Henrietta Lacks. And it's just like, I don't want to be a part of a system that prevents that. And I don't want to be a part of a system that doesn't support people like me. You know what I mean? Like, and
yeah.
it's like,
And you in Florida too, honey. So like, they got it
exactly.
tough down here.
Like you and I talked, I was like, I'm of Jamaican descent, but I grew up in New York. So coming to Florida, I'm like, what? You know what I mean? And so it's like, nah, this is not normal. Like, I know it seems normal here, but it's not normal everywhere. And I'm excited and blessed that I have that opportunity to have seen different perspectives, to be able to offer it to kids in Florida and just say, hey, look, you know, you don't feel like you're making it in the school. They may be bullying you. They may be targeting you because you were playing around and they want you to sit down. We've got you. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's like, this has allowed me to see that there's an opportunity for me to meet my purpose. And my purpose has
Yeah.
always been to help children find their dreams. And, that's what brings me joy, and like, even for you, you stepped out on faith because you were like, I can do something. I found a space where I can be with my children and I can help other children and I can bring other people that are on the same journey and let people meet them. Like, this is
Yes, ma'am.
you. You know what I mean? Like, this is what
Yes.
you've done. And it's like, and I see it like talking to you, I'm like, you're in your purpose, and like we were talking earlier, it's like, you're going to just keep growing and growing from this. It's just going to
Yes.
keep getting bigger. And like we were saying, seeing people with RVs lined up, all of us going on
Mhm.
a trip. And it's like, why not? Who's preventing it?
Yes.
You know?
Nobody but their mind. Like, that's where
Exactly.
everyone gets held up at in their thoughts. Like, I would tell you, like, I had to do a whole reprogramming after I resigned from teaching. 'Cause like I told you, that was my unhealthiest time of my
Yeah.
life. My last year teaching, I was probably like a good 40 pounds well, like 30 now, 30 pounds lighter than what I am now. I was out here struggling, honey. I looked like I was on some stuff. Like I really was. Like, and I literally, I resigned from teaching, and that same year we moved all the way across the country to Arizona. I had never been to Arizona. I didn't know anybody in Arizona. I didn't we got our place. I think I got our place before we got there, but I had never been there. Like, I had never seen anything. And it was just like, okay, no, this is where we're going. This is where we're going. I'm about to heal myself. I'm about to get back right. And I did. I had to. But in that sense, the kids never left my mind. Like, leaving the classroom was never about the kids. Like, I love my students. I still talk to a lot of my students. I told them I wouldn't change my number again. I changed my number one time, and the lady who has my old number, we talk, because she said, girl, so many people call this number for you. I said, I believe
you're like, just send them to my number. Okay.
She will, like, depending on what they send or whatever, she'll send them right over. It's so funny. But I told them I wouldn't change it again, because I want them to have access to me. I want to be able to still catch up with them, still talk to them. Like, those are my babies. Right. Okay. And so that with understanding that, okay, these students still need something. And it's like, well, what do they need? Like, what do they need? And they really need their parents. Like, that's what I came to the conclusion of after all the years in the classroom, after definitely spending the time with the 10th and 12th graders. Our kids need us. Like, your kids need you. And that's the message I promote always. It's like, no, talk to your kids. Talk to them. Talk to them. Because they still need that attention. They still need that guidance. They still need that love, support, all of that. And I'm going to tell you, Karina, my sister talk about me because I always talk about the fact that I love and like my kids. I said people love their kids, but people will tell you quick that they don't like them by the things that they say. Like, oh, you homeschool? Oh, I could never. Just say you don't like your kids. Just say that. Just say that. Like, I'm just saying. Like, you don't like them. No. But that's why I'm telling people, and my sister, we know you like your kids. We know I do. My homies, they are funny. Like, they got like personality. They kicks. Like, it's cool. They get on my nerves too, though, and I have to take breaks, and I have to tell them, like, after a certain time, like, okay, stop talking to me. Like, we done for the day. Talk to me again tomorrow. But I feel like a lot of people need to re-examine the relationship they have with their kids. It's like, do you like your kids? And if you don't, why not? Like, just think about it. Why don't you? Because you created that. Like, you created that. You did.
And that's my daughter's getting ready to graduate from University of Florida, and she has a story that's amazing, where she didn't even get in the first time, but it was like being able to even tell her, like, hey, do you want to get in? Well, then figure out how. And, taking her through that process. And now she not only got in, but was able to get, full ride because in Florida, you have Bright Futures. So if you meet a certain, criteria, they give you full. But girl, on this journey, not to segue, I just found out that they have some for apprenticeship programs, but nobody talks about that. So like, everybody's like the college track, but it's like, what about the apprenticeship? So it's like for our other kids. But for me, it's like, she's talking about life and grit and how she learned it. And I was just thinking to myself, like, that's what I want from my kids. Like, and she always tells me, like, you taught me so much, like, you don't give up.
Yes.
Keep going. And I love that you say you love your kids and you're proud of your kids. And that's what I want too. Like, we might butt of heads like sometimes, but at the end of time,
of course,
I love my children and I love my students too. It's like, that's when this is your calling, right? And so for me, it's like, fine, you may not like your kids, send them to us, right? Because
right, I know, because we like them. Like we're like them. I love I tell people all the time, like I miss being in the classroom because I feel like my students kept me young. Like they kept me up on stuff because I don't watch a lot of stuff and everything. So they'd come and tell me, oh, Miss
right? They're like, what are you doing? And
like, yes, like, oh, listen to this song. And I'm like, oh, I like that. Like they the ones put me on the Daniel Caesar and stuff. And I was all late to the game, but that's I love him now. Like, but that's what I miss. But now I got my own little people now that they tell me and clock this and all this, all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I know, right? Look, tapping fingers and stuff, and they're funny. Yeah,
I know, and they're like all in language. Oh, you're like, yes. What is this? Like, girl. I remember when I first came to Florida, they were like, "You sleep, miss," and I was like, "I'm wide awake. What are you talking about?"
I am looking at you. Oh, you green. That's what they say in Florida. Oh, you green. You
yeah,
green,
exactly. They do say that.
Yes, girl.
That was actually like the thing, Miss Green. I was like, y'all. I was so mad. Yes. I know, that's what they do, right? We all laughing and smiling. And it's like, let's have a good time. And
yes.
Yeah, and it's like so many times our kids, like even, the environment that we see in the schools where, you don't know, like people are trying to shoot up and it's just like, why? You know what I mean? And it's like, well, I don't necessarily want to send my kids to that every day. And then teachers are quitting or their kids are leaving. And so they have a sub and they're not doing anything. And then, when they're not doing anything, issues arise. And it's like, again, if you want to send your kids someplace else, I got you. And we're going to have a good time. And if they act up, I'm going to let you know. If you want them to stay, they're staying. You know what I mean? Like we're going to work through it because that's something that we need to help them grow and go through. It can't be like, oh, we're just sending you home because that doesn't resolve anything. Mm-hmm. It doesn't. Like we act up at work, they're not sending us home.
No.
You're going to get written up, but you better show up. You better show up.
Yes, and to discard them. That's like telling them that they're being discarded. And I get discipline. Discipline has to happen. But like you said, we got to get to the root of kids' issues. Like people be talking about me because I'm always talking about they need a hug. Like anytime I see somebody acting up or doing something or crashing, I'm like, they need a hug, yo. I feel like that's what we
I had my son was, again, I had 2 daughters and a son. I have a other son that I took in as well. So I technically do have 4, but 3 biologically. And, my youngest is the baby and he's the boy, and he has 2 older sisters. So he's spoiled. It is what it is. And, I was just, me and him were just like, I'm not agreeing with him. And so one of my community partners came over. He's like, I'm just going to give you the biggest hug. And gave him the biggest hug. And it was like a man giving my son a hug. And my son would just, and immediately changed, right? And so like, I believe you, Jay, when sometimes someone's got to be like, let me just give you a hug. Let me just show you some love because you obviously you're not feeling loved right now. So let me give it to you.
Yes.
And I was just like, God, thank you. Thank you for letting somebody intervene to help my kid feel that love that maybe I wasn't able to give him. Because not all the time you can, right? But somebody like with your type of heart came in and was just like, let me just give you a hug. Let me just show you some love. After that, just laughing and had the best day. And
our teenagers be so discarded sometimes. Yes. Like, it's like it's like a level of independence that we kind of, give them. Yeah. But in that independence, it's like they kind of fade to the back. So they don't really make too much noise. They don't really, do too much, but they still want to be seen. They still want to be heard. They still want to know that they're of value. Especially if they have younger siblings too. My 12-year-old, honey, she showed me that all the time. There's just a 3-year age gap with them. And my 12, I wish I could be small again. I wish I could, it's like, okay, girl. And our thing now is she'll ask me, do you want a hug? I said, do you want a hug? And she'd be like, yes. And so we'll come give a hug. Or whatever.
And yes. And that's one of the things, like, I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I'm not perfect as a mother, as a human being, and that's the beautiful journey about life. But so many of our kids, and especially from our community, like I said, my son has been my journey. My son suffered with dyslexia, and my other girls are gifted. So it was a complete, like, what do you mean? Like, how do I work? And, short-term memory in the beginning of his life. And, he learns it. And then 5 minutes later, it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, well, and again, I've never really experienced that even with teaching. So he challenged me. So a lot of my stories come from that. And he would just break down and cry. And he would say, I hate school. They make me feel stupid. Sometimes he would be roughhousing. Not, boys are boys. Like and him and his friends, again, friends like playing around, well, you can't horseplay. That's one day out. And it was like, they're not fighting. It's horseplay, or 5 days lunch detention. And you just see this kid and he's like, I'm not a bad kid. But like, we're trying to label that for him. Or a kid that struggles, and then instead of you pulling him aside or trying to work with him or develop a relationship, oh, I know you can't do that. You know what I mean? And it's just, and as an administrator, I saw that all the time. And so sometimes when the kids were going home, I would probably say something too. You know what I mean? Because they were not always right. And it's like, I don't want that. And like I say, Jay, and this is me really stepping out completely from, just doing enrichment programs to summer school to actually starting the whole co-op. Like, hey, wherever you are, you can reach us. And if you need us, we're right here. And this is one of our centers where your kid is going to be loved on and supported, and life is going to be spoken over them,
Yes.
And it's just so sad because it's like, you can't believe you're sending your kid to someplace that's trying to break them.
That is a thing. That is a thing.
Jay.
Yes, ma'am. I do. That's why I was so down by the time I was finished. It was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get out of here. This is crazy. Like, this isn't healthy. This isn't good. This isn't healthy for the whole building in itself. I used to say, like, this is not healthy. Like this, it's like, this is not healthy. This is not good for anybody. Even the smart kids, like, they still have that pressure. They still have that anxiety that's on them, that just, it's just, when
testing time comes on, everybody's like, it's like, why do I need that stress? The teachers have no creativity. You have to do this curriculum. You have to be on this page at this time with everybody else. And if you don't, you go to the principal's office. It's like, hey,
because they're stressed. Look, the teachers are stressed. They having meetings about how they need to get these test scores to where they need to be. And if you don't, then we're going to talk about you. You ain't going to be highlighted. Like, it's so much. It is so much. So much.
And the thing about it is, just like going back full circle, it's like when the kids have an opportunity to do what they love, like, I can have my son or my daughters read about whatever activities they want to, and they learn it. And at the end of the day, all I needed to see is if you understood the skill. Like, I don't need you to read about Shakespeare necessarily if you don't want to read about Shakespeare. If you want to read about sports and you can write to it, then you're writing. You know what I mean? Like, I can test you that way. And the beautiful thing with us too is we use AI. AI is a part of our world. And it's like, we have to prepare our students. Like right now, it's like, you can't use AI. It's like, no, you need to teach them how to use it correctly. And you need to show them how to use it to their advantage. But you don't necessarily say you can't, because everybody's using AI.
Yeah, why would you not? Like, I told somebody that earlier, like, that APA and MLA, I don't know how to do neither one of them. I have a whole master's degree. I used to put that in my time. Yeah. I used to put that right on the internet, put in all the little information, and then they will make my APA or my MLA resource format or whatever. I don't know how to do that stuff verbatim or anything like that, nor do I want to have that in my head. Like, what? But yes, no, I would use, girl, I would be an AI queen if I was still in school right now.
And that's my thing. It's like I've had kids move up like in our enrichment program because I'll say, write this and then type it in and then ask AI to fix it. And it fixes it. And then I say, okay, now rewrite it in your own words. And it's like that one little thing where it took their idea, made it better. And now they have to read it and say, okay, let me put it back in my words. Now, the next time they try it again, they're writing at a better level because AI just taught them how to make their words better. Do you know what I mean? Like
collaborative. Yeah, it's a collaborative relationship.
Exactly.
With it. Yes.
Like, listen, I'm over here. AI is killing it for me in my business. So like, why would I not use AI with children? Like it's their future. Yes. And the biggest thing, as I was looking at how to, with me going in this route is you have kids that are looking to the future, looking to graduate, and it's like, what are those future careers? Because, a lot of technology is going to take it over. And you know what they said? The biggest thing that they want is for kids to have that emotional intelligence. How do they help guide? How do they help, work, connect with each other? Just like you said, it's like, that's what we need to prepare kids for. They need to learn the technology and how to use it, and they need to be good humans. And know themselves, be confident in themselves, and love what they do. And
yes, ma'am.
I'm so sick and tired of kids taking out their cell phones and videotaping, and then seeing fights on like TikTok or Instagram. It's like I don't want any of my kids that are part of our programs to be doing that.
Yeah, no, that is a thing. That is definitely a thing. I love everything you're creating. I love what you're doing. I just love having these conversations because I tell people all the time, I don't worry about our future because I have these conversations, because I talk to the people that are doing the work and I know that the work is being done. Like, it's like, nah, believe me, there's a lot of individuals out here that are understanding the importance of being the change they want to see. And that's what you're doing. And I love that. And I appreciate you for that. I have 2 more questions before you go.
Okay.
One is, with all that you do and with all that you've created, you got your 3 babies and you got your extended babies and you're about to be a foster mom and everything. Already fostering. But how do you self-care? How do you take care of Karina?
I love that you said that. And that's actually my journey. So I'm going to do a little plug. My daughter and I are doing a, what is it called now? A self-planner. My daughter is my eldest. And one of the things that she always says to me is, Mom, you've got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of you. I love that you're all about the community and all loving and stuff, but what about you? Mm-hmm. And so we created a journal. It's called She's Got This. And it's about really prioritizing. So in the morning time, planning, putting where are you doing your self-care, because I've got to put it into my routine. I do work out. I'm a busy mom right now. I have one in rowing, the other one in football, and, just trying to keep up with the older 2. But yeah, so I travel. I am trying to put more effort into turning this off at 6, but it was like a journey first. Like, I have to get this out. And now that I'm here, it's like, okay, now let's taper and make this schedule. I used to travel a lot to go to Jamaica, be with family. I'm all about family, and my family is big. So everybody's like, oh, do you have a lot of friends? I'm like, I have like 5 friends because my family is huge. Like I have like 10, I would even say more than that, aunts, right? That's just aunts.
Oh, wow.
Exactly, right? And so just being around family, my kids and I, once a month, we're going to different state parks around Florida right now. So we've been doing like paddle boarding. We went to Rainbow River, the last one, and then now we're about to go to Ocala for another one. And just doing things that I love. I've also been slowing down at night, just like taking those long showers, like doing that self-care for my hair, my skin, and also speaking life into myself too. So that's sort of where I'm glad we talked about that, because it is a journey right now for me. but I'm starting, and that's the best part.
Yes, remember you. Got to remember you. I love that. I love that you are being intentional about you. And I'm glad that you got your young person over there telling you, nah, mom, like I see and I understand, like they need you, but you need
Yeah.
you too. So, and we need you. Like she like,
Yeah.
hey, I ain't about to let the community take my mama out now. Take care of
Exactly.
yourself. Take
Yeah.
care of yourself. I love that. If our listeners didn't hear anything else during this conversation, what's 3 things you want them to take away?
The first is that we are here for you, right? We are here to support you with your kids. Um, it's not easy as a parent, right? But we're here. The second one is going to be obviously where to find us. So it's STEAMA, STEAMA.world. And then if not, INT.org. We're here for you. We can come to your communities. We can set up something to help you, even if you want to be the journey where you want to offer a co-op or a center and you just want to kind of plug in our programs, we can help you. And the third thing for parents is have faith, believe, step out on faith, right? Because life is short. And if you know that you're not happy, then do what makes you happy, you know? So those would be my 3.
Yes, ma'am. I love that. Those are great 3. Like, you got this. Like, she's got this. You got this. We got this. Just yes, no. I'm big on the happy component. I know a lot of people feel like happiness is supposed to come later or afterlife or whatever. I don't believe that. I believe in heaven on earth. So create your heaven, create your path, create what is necessary for your reality in your world because you are the creator of that and understand that. You are in charge of that. So if it's not working, it doesn't feel good, it doesn't fit the flow, change it. Change it. We have choices. We have choices. We have choices. So make the choice that works for you and your family. And always know that you have support. So if you are struggling with something, or you just want your kids to be able to be exposed to different apprenticeship jobs, internships, mentorship, reach out because Karina is there, honey. She's there ready and waiting on those babies so that she can help guide them to their happiness and what works for them. Because that's what this is about. And we want our young people to be purposeful and understand that they are of great value to the society and we need them to be their best at all times. So, you know me, homeschool your kids.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on.
Of course.